I never believed life could fracture in a single breath. One moment, my heart was swelling with a thrill of surprise, and the next it was collapsing under the weight of betrayal. Valentine's Day had always been our thing, not because of what the calendar dictated, but because in our little history, it was the one day she used to remind me she had chosen me above all else. That's why I had gone all out this year. Flowers in one hand, a flight ticket to London in the other. I wanted to sweep her away from the monotony of office walls, from the constant late nights she said were fueled by deadlines and client meetings. I rehearsed the moment in my head a dozen times as I rode the elevator up to her office floor. I imagined the way her eyes would soften, the way her smile would spread slowly, shyly, when she realized what I had done. I imagined her co-workers teasing her playfully, envious of the romantic gesture. For once, I thought I was doing something bigger than the small notes I used to leave in her lunchbox, bigger than the morning coffees I brewed just the way she liked. This was grand. This was proof that I still knew how to surprise her. But what I walked into was something else entirely. The door slid open to a buzz of voices, a scatter of laughter, applause echoing against the glass and steel of the modern office. I thought for a fleeting second they had already noticed me. I straightened my shoulders, tightened my grip on the bouquet, and stepped forward with a smile rehearsed to hide my nerves. Then I saw it, her face, lit with a glow I hadn't seen in years. Her hand raised, showing off a diamond ring, so bright it caught the ceiling lights and sent cruel sparks across the room. Her co-workers clapped, some whistled, and she laughed her laugh. Once mine, once the melody I fell asleep to, now woven into the chorus of congratulations surrounding her. And standing beside her, with his hand casually at the small of her back, was her CEO. For a moment I couldn't move. I stood there, bouquet trembling in my hand, flight ticket peeking from my pocket like a ridiculous afterthought. My ears roared with silence. Even though the room was far from quiet, the world tilted, and I wasn't sure if it was anger, heartbreak, or the sheer disbelief that was making it hard to breathe. Someone noticed me then, a co-worker of hers, a young man who froze mid-applause. His eyes flicked from the flowers to my face, and the confusion in his expression spread like wildfire. Heads turned one by one, and the laughter died down into an uncomfortable hush. Her eyes finally met mine. The color drained from her face, faster than I thought possible. The joy that moment ago painted her cheeks vanished, replaced with something I can only describe as guilt and fear tangled together. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Not to explain, not to soften the blow. Just silence. The CO looked at me as though I were a stranger barging in where I didn't belong. His hand, however, did not move from her back. He stood taller, protective, possessive even, as if to mark his territory in front of everyone watching. I wanted to speak. God! I wanted to scream, to ask her how long, to demand when she had stopped seeing me as enough. But all I could do was stare at the ring that mocked me, glittering with every shallow heartbeat. My hands shook, and I realized the flowers were starting to wilt under the pressure of my grip. I placed them down on the nearest desk, too carefully, as if letting them drop would shatter what little pride I had left. I slipped the envelope with the plane tickets beneath them. That was supposed to be our escape. A week in London. Our chance to find us again. Now it was nothing more than paper. I see, I whispered, though I wasn't sure if anyone heard me. My throat burned. My chest ached in ways I didn't know were possible. She stepped toward me then, maybe to explain, maybe to beg for silence. But I stepped back. I couldn't bear to feel the echo of her touch. The room stayed silent as I turned and walked away. No one dared to stop me. No one dared to speak. The sound of my footsteps in the hallway felt heavier than my body. The elevator doors closed, mercifully hiding me from their stares, from her face, from a ring that had ended everything. In the cab ride home, the city outside blurred. Neon lights smeared against glass. Strangers moved in shadows, but all I saw was her hand lifted high, her smile flashing like it had when she once said yes to me. The memory twisted cruelly, tearing through me with every passing second. I thought of the late nights she claimed were spent working, the sudden attention to her wardrobe, the perfume she wore that wasn't for me. I thought of all the times I brushed aside the doubts, convincing myself that she was simply ambitious, that she was striving for her career. I wanted to believe in her. I had believed in her, and she had let me show up, flowers in hand, love in my chest, only to crash against the wall of her betrayal. At home, I placed a bouquet on the table, petals already bruised from my grip. I sat across from it, staring at the symbol of something that now felt naive. My heart still wanted to ask why, still wanted to believe there had to be a reason. But deep down I knew she had found someone who offered her something I couldn't. Or perhaps she had simply stopped wanting what I gave. The cruelest part wasn't the cheating itself. It was that she let me dream right up until the very last second, let me build a surprise around a love she had already abandoned. I don't know how long I sat there, but when the clock struck midnight, Valentine's Day ended. For me, so did the marriage. The flight to London left without us. The flowers withered in silence. And in the empty spaces of our home, I finally allowed myself to break.